one of the things of, creating urgency, it can go, one way or the other. Because like, I remember that when I weighed 245 pounds, and Bob Rafelson, the director of Stay Hungry, said to me that I'm interested in having you come in for a reading and work on your acting and all this, because I'm interested in having you in a movie to star with Jeff Bridges and with Sally Fields. I was delighted about that, and I was excited, and I started pumping up more and more. And then he said, but I don't want you to weigh more than 210 pounds. So I said to him, well, it's funny you come to me and you want me to be in the movie, but I'm weighing 245, 246. I say, I just won the Olympia, I say, which was 1974, and I was really at my biggest. And but he demanded that, and he says, look, it's very simple. On the day we start shooting, he says, I'm gonna put you on a scale, and if you don't make the 210, you're out, because I have someone else in mind. And I worked on it. I started visualizing myself very clearly as a lean athlete, because that's the only way I could lose that weight and all of a sudden get interested in running more. Because up until that point, I ran like 3 miles after training or before training or whatever. But now all of a sudden it was 5 miles, 6 miles, 7 miles, 8 miles. And they even ran mini marathons in order to lose the weight. And I did everything with high reps. And I was watching my diet, what I eat and all those kind of things. But the day before, I remember we were in Birmingham, Alabama. The day before I was at the YMCA with Bob Rafelson. He was swimming and I was working out and I was running. There was a track there and I was running. He says, let's step on the scale. And I stepped on the scale and I weighed 209. So it just shows you what is possible if you visualize exactly what you want to look like. So it can go one way, which is that you can lose weight and get trim and get slim and everything, get the abs out, or you go the other way and you gain weight because you see yourself big and you see yourself as a winner of a Mr. Olympia or something like that. So it can go either way, but what happened to me that year was very interesting, because I had to drop the weight to 210, and then after I was finished with Stay Hungry, I decided that I go back into the Olympia, because I actually, in my mind, retired in 1974. But the key thing again is have the clear vision. Have the specific goal of what you want to accomplish, because then you never go to the gym and you say, the day I feel down a little bit, I don't know what it is all about, I don't know my life, I'm confused. No. Because that means that you haven't even set up your training partner, because Franco Colombo, who was my training partner, was responsible if I just blinked that he said, well, let's pump up the day. The day I challenge you to a bench press competition. Let's see if you can beat a 180-pound little guy. Let's see, and he would know how to push the buttons, because that's what the responsibility of a training partner is. So whenever people say, how can you be successful in bodybuilding or in lifting or in sports or in this, that, I always believe 100% in a training partner. Because a training partner is helping you when you have your moments where you're down, and then the other person is up. So Franco was pushing me when I was down, I was pushing him when he was down. That was the responsibility of a training partner. I tell you that I was a perfect example of someone that was not confident at all. I mean, when I was a kid, I was just like any other kid. I had my hang-ups and problems and all this. But when I joined the weightlifting club and I won my first little trophy, because I did the best clean and jerk, and then we went to another meet and I won another little trophy, I started feeling like somebody. I started feeling like when I lifted the weight and pound, put it over my head, this weight, I saw the people, this 100 people that were in a beer hall. Usually those weightlifting meets were in a beer hall. They were getting up and they were screaming, because I was the 16-year-old kid. I was the youngest on the weightlifting team, and so they were cheering me on because I was this young kid that was performing well. So I was getting little trophies and then bigger trophies, and all of a sudden I started really feeling like, wow, I'm somebody and I can lift this weight and I actually can be a pretty good weightlifter. But actually, everyone is saying that, Arnold, you're gaining so much weight and so much mass. I mean, you're going to go far. I'm telling you, you could win the Austrian Championship in no time, and you could win the European Championship. I hope you're taking it seriously in order. So I said to myself, wow, if everyone says that, I feel really good. So I started gaining confidence. So that's how it was. Then all of a sudden I won the Junior Mr. Europe, and then I won the Mr. Europe, and then second Mr. Universe. So by that time, now I was 19 years old. I had over 20-inch arms. Everyone in London, when I arrived at the Mr. Universe contest, and I was 19 years old, they were standing outside the hotel and saying, oh, here he is. This is the guy. So how can you not feel special? So, and of course, not everyone is going to have this kind of a situation. But the bottom line is, everyone can use the same method, because I used it in politics, I used it in making money, I used it in everything that I've done in the movie business. When you have one little victory, you do one little movie. I remember when I did with Lucille Ball, Happy Anniversary and Goodbye. It was just a 7-minute scene, but she said to me, she says, you did fantastic, Arnold. In front of a live audience, you did this TV show, you were not scared, you just acted really well. I was totally believing everything that you said. It built me up. It was a little thing like that that gave me the confidence, and then to do Streets of San Francisco and Stay Hungry and Pumping Iron and Conan the Barbarian. So it led from one little thing to the next. It's adding up. What you said is exactly right. Little victories add up, and that is what gives you then ultimately confidence.